Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is part 2 of my makeup collection declutter. If you missed part 1, I went through all my primers, skin tints, and foundations. I'll have that video linked in the cards and in the description box down below. Definitely go check it out. But today is part 2. We are going to be tackling concealers, under eye primers, brow products, and setting sprays. So I wanted to just get all of these smaller categories out of the way before I start jumping into my bigger categories like eyeshadow and cheek products. So if that sounds good, stay tuned. Let's jump in. All right, we're starting with 21 concealers. Let's begin with these ones from Too Faced. This used to be my all-time favorite concealer. I would wear this every day. I would wear it under my eyes. I would wear it all over my face. These are getting quite old. I have Seashell and Vanilla. Vanilla is actually pretty dark. It's definitely a summer shade for me. And I find the Too Faced range runs really yellow. You see how yellow that is? Let's swatch Seashell as well. That is definitely a better shade for me, and it is more neutral. So I'm going to hang on to Seashell, and I'm going to declutter Vanilla. All right, next up we have the Tower 28 concealers. I love these. I'm not getting rid of any of these. These are all staying. By the way, if you're curious, I have the shades DTLA, K-Town, and IE. The brand did send me these two shades. They're definitely a little summery, darker shades for me. And then I purchased DTLA, which is a better all-around tone for me. Okay, my Natasha Denona concealers. This is probably my current all-time favorite concealer formula. I picked up the shade R2 from TJ Maxx a while back. It's definitely pretty pale for me. And then I just restocked on the shade N4, which is pretty much my perfect shade. So I'm keeping both of these. This Kulfi concealer is really nice. I have the shade Ice Iceberry and the shade Misty Maple. Let's give these a quick swatch. So here's Ice Ice Baby. That's a pretty good shade match for me. Misty Maple is lighter, but I think that shade will work well for me right now during the winter time. So I will keep both of these. This Yensa concealer, I believe, was Friend Mail. It's pretty old at this point, and I don't remember using this very much. I think because it is incredibly pale. Yeah, that is really, really light. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one. All right, this is probably the newest concealer to my collection. This is from Milk Makeup. I really have fallen in love with this formula. I have the shade 7NW. Let's do a quick swatch of this. Definitely more of a summer shade for me, or a self-tan shade, but I will be keeping this. Next up, we have the Hourglass Vanish Concealer. This is a beautiful full coverage concealer. I have the shade 2.5. There it is. It's definitely a good shade for me right now in the winter. And I will be holding on to this. These Tarte concealers I thought were the same, but they're not. They're different. They're both called the Creaseless Creamy or Creaseless Concealer. They both have Creaseless in the name. I don't know. It's really confusing. This is the one that I fell in love with. It's the Maracuja Creaseless Concealer with the purple cap. This is a newer version. It's called the Creaseless Creamy Concealer, and I do not like this one. I got this on Skeepers thinking it was this one, and I was disappointed to find out that it's different. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. This has a lot of life left for someone else to enjoy, so I'm going to pass that along. And then this one, honestly, it's probably an empty at this point. This shade is a little bit dark for me. It's the shade 25N Light Medium Neutral, and I'm scraping the barrel on this. It's starting to feel pretty dry. It might be time to just let this one go, so I think I'm going to get rid of this as well. This Bobbi Brown concealer is a very nice concealer. The doe foot is very unique, kind of an interesting shape, but yeah, I'm going to hang on to this one. I do enjoy this concealer. This one from Armani is nice as well. I have the shade 4. I forgot to tell you the Bobbi Brown is the shade Sand. Keeping the Armani. This one from NYX, I'm going to go ahead and declutter. It's just pretty old at this point, and I don't reach for it anymore. This one from Huda, I think I got in Skeepers. And I don't know if it's the shade that is throwing me off or what. This is the shade Meringue 2.1N. You'll see how fair this is in just a minute. It's like very fair. So I don't know if that's what makes me not like this. You know when it's just not quite the right color? Sometimes that can just make you not like the formula either. Yeah, I think I'm not gonna keep this one. I don't reach for it, unfortunately, due to the color. I guess I could try mixing it with another darker concealer. Okay, I'm gonna try that actually. I'm gonna hang on to this. I'm gonna try it again by mixing it, and if I still don't like it, then I'll get rid of it. Okay, last up we have these concealers from Nude Sticks. I actually just got sent another one from them. I have swatches up on my Instagram if you're interested in that, but I have the first 3 shades here, Nude 1, Nude 2, and Nude 3. I like these. These are definitely more of a lighter coverage formula, so I'm gonna go ahead and hang on to these. I'm actually gonna let's do some quick swatches just so I can confirm that these shades all work for me. That's their lightest shade, which is not very fair. So I think their shade range definitely needs some work. So that's Nude 1. Here's Nude 2, which is honestly just a bit warmer and a smidge darker. And here's Nude 3, which is a pretty significant jump in terms of depth. And that one also runs a little bit warm. I don't know, I feel like I could probably get rid of one of these. I think maybe I'll go ahead and get rid of Nude 3 just because it is so warm. Okay, I'm having second thoughts about this Too Faced concealer. By the looks of it, this is very, very old. So I think I'm actually gonna go ahead and declutter this seashell as well. Here's the concealers that I'm keeping. There are 14 in total that I'm hanging on to. Here's the ones I'm decluttering for a total of 7. So let's go through these. Okay, starting with the Milani Under Eye Tint. This is very hydrating and brightening, but it's pretty old and it's almost empty, so I'm gonna go ahead and toss this. This is the NYX Glitter Primer. This is very old and needs replacing, but I'm gonna hang on to it for now until I grab a new one. This is another eye primer. This is the Pat McGrath Intensifies Artistry Wand. This is basically a glitter primer in a stick. It's phenomenal, especially if you have long nails or if you just don't wanna mess with getting your fingers dirty with a primer like this. Highly, highly, highly recommend this, and I will definitely be keeping it. This I use as a corrector. It's technically a concealer, but this is a very pink shade. This is the shade 160. You can see I've used up a lot of it, but I feel like this is drying my under eyes out, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. Here's another eye priming product. This is the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this. This is the Becca Smashbox Under Eye Corrector. I really, really enjoy this. This has obviously been well loved and used, but I think it's still going strong, so I'm gonna keep this one. This is from Cali Ray, and I have mixed feelings about this. Again, I don't know if it's because it's such a pale, pale color that I just don't like the way it looks. I kind of think it's a bit drying personally, but a lot of people really like this. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this. It also looks like mine's starting to separate, which is weird because I haven't had this for very long. So I'm gonna see if I can give this to someone before the formula goes off. This is kind of a similar style product as the Cali Ray one, but I like this one a lot more. It's from Rare Beauty. It's got a really interesting applicator. You don't get a lot of product off of it, but it's kind of a very serum-y, thin, just brightening product, but I actually do like this, so I'm gonna hang on to this one. This is the MAC Paint Pot in the shade Painterly. I sometimes use this as an eye primer. I actually just got a fresh one, I think within this year for 21 Days of Beauty. It might have gone on sale, so I'm gonna hang on to this for now. The Huda Beauty Corrector is really nice. It's the shade Pink Pomelo. As you can see, the packaging is a mess, but what I do is I tend to find that it builds up around here. So I usually don't even use the applicator. I just scrape off with my finger whatever product is getting around the edges here, and I just tap it on my under eyes because that's the only way I can keep this packaging clean. I don't know what is wrong with this product. I've seen some other people have the same issue. Some people's leak, but I'm going to keep this because I do enjoy the product quite a bit. This is an eye primer from Rare Beauty. I think I've repurchased this twice now. I wonder though how old this is getting. Oh, actually there's still quite a bit of product left in here. Okay, I'm gonna hang on to this and remind myself to start using this some more because this is a really nice eye primer. This is an under eye corrector from Bobbi Brown, or at least that's how I tend to use it. Maybe it's technically a concealer, but it is the shade, oh, it is a corrector stick. This is the shade Extra Light Bisque. And I think this is nice, so I'm gonna hang on to this. This is a little bit random, but I have a ColourPop freckle pen in here. Do they even sell this anymore? I'm sure this is dried out by now. Oh, it's not. Interesting. I don't really like the color of this one. It's a little bit like yellow, so I'm gonna get rid of this. If I do faux freckles, I just use like a brown eyeliner and tap it out with my finger, so this is a declutter. Last but not least, I have this little sample of the ABH eye primer. I've heard this is really good, but for whatever reason, I just haven't reached for it. Maybe because it's a little tiny mini. Let's see. Ooh, it's kind of separating. I probably need to get rid of this. It's very, very old, so unfortunately, I wish I would have used this sooner, so I would have gotten to give it a better go, but I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. Here's the under eye products I will be decluttering. We have a total of 5. Here are the 9 that I will be keeping. Next up, we have brow products. So let me take these out and sort through them. Okay, I've roughly sorted these into gels, powders, and pencils. I got some brow waxes in here as well. I do have 3 brow tools that I just keep in the same basket with all of these, but I'm not going to count these as individual products. We have a total of 18 brow products that we are starting with. Let's go through the gels first. This is from e.l.f. This is their Wow Brow. I believe this is tinted. I really like this brow gel because it does have, as you can see, some fibers in it, which helps with volumizing. This is fairly old and it's getting dried out though, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and toss this one. I actually just found another brow product. This is a little mini of the ABH Clear Brow Gel. This is one of my favorite clear brow gels, so I'm definitely keeping this. This is another clear brow gel. This is from Kulfi. I really like this brow gel. It doesn't have the strongest hold, but it gives a really nice texture to your brows, and it has this really cool brush on it. Mine's filthy, obviously. This one is pretty much used up. I have a backup that I need to open, so I'm gonna go ahead and toss this one. This is another clear gel from Nude Sticks. This one has a super strong hold, and the spoolie on it is super tiny. It's really nice, but here's the problem I'm having. This is a great demonstration. This product needs a stopper or something because the product is just everywhere. Yeah, do you see that? So I think it's time for this to go. I really, really enjoy this brow gel and I'm like sad to toss it, but the packaging just sort of makes it unusable at this point. This I just picked up from L'Oreal. I've heard so many good things about it. This is their brow lamination gel. It is clear, has a nice small spoolie. It's angled actually, which is kind of cool too. And I'm really enjoying this, so obviously keeping that. This is also new-ish to my collection. This is from Milk Makeup. It's their Kush Brow Gel Laminator. I like this. I don't love it, but I will absolutely use it up, so I'm gonna hang on to this. This is one of my all-time favorite brow gels from Rare Beauty. This is probably the 2nd or 3rd one that I've gone through. I feel like this is on its last legs. I'm not really sure how much is left in here. It's honestly kind of hard to tell, but it's looking kind of nasty, so I think it might be time to toss this. This is from Benefit. This is a newer product, I believe. This is the Precisely My Brow Wax. This is tinted, and I think there's little fibers in it if I'm not mistaken, but you can see the brush there. It's kind of cool. This gives me a very bold brow, but sometimes I just want a nice one and done. What shade is this? This is 2.5, so I'm gonna go ahead and hang on to this. These brow waxes from Patrick Ta are very old. I'm kind of scared to open these and look at them, to be honest. I really like these. Yeah, kind of nasty. So that's the tinted one. And this one's the clear one. Honestly, you guys, I've probably had these for several years at this point. Yeah, there's the clear one. That one's obviously been used a bit more than the tinted one, but I feel like my ABH Brow Freeze has kind of replaced these for me, and honestly, this is so much easier to use because these you have to wet. So basically you have to spray them with water, and then you have to scrape it out with a spoolie, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these. So speaking of my ABH Brow Wax, the top looks like that because that's where I put my product when I'm getting it onto my spoolie. I really like this brow gel. I'm about halfway through it, and I will definitely be keeping this. Moving on to brow powders. Now this is not a category I have a lot of, nor I use frequently. This is probably my oldest one here. I kind of like that it's got two different colors, and I reach for this occasionally, but honestly, this is getting so old. I don't think I need to keep this, so I'm going to declutter this. This is definitely a newer version of that powder. I don't know if it's replacing that powder, like maybe they don't even sell the other one anymore, but I'll hang on to this just in case I need a brow powder, and it's also a lot more compact than that other one, so I'll keep this just in case I need a brow powder. This is a brow stamp, and it actually came with a stencil as well. It came with several stencils. This seemed like a gimmick at first, but actually it worked really, really well, and I really liked the way it made my brows look. This is just getting very old at this point, and I don't think I would feel comfortable using it since it does kind of have this foamy tip on it. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this, even though I really did enjoy this. We are down to our brow pencils. I don't think I'm getting rid of any of these. I just opened both of these from e.l.f. This is my favorite brow pencil. I just have two different shades. This is from Benefit. This is a goof-proof brow pencil. Looks like I still have quite a bit in there, so I will be keeping this. This is the shade 3. This is also from Benefit. This is new. This is their brow pen that has like the 3 tips on it. I actually kind of like this. There's a bit of a learning curve, but I'm figuring it out, so I'll be keeping that. And then this was friend mail. I really like this brow pencil from It Cosmetics. Wow, I still have a lot left. Dang, there's a lot in here. I was gonna say, I've been using this a lot, and I thought that this was probably close to empty. So I'm surprised to see how much is left in this, but I will be keeping this as well. I can never have enough brow pencils. So that is the brows. Here's everything I'm keeping. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 brow products for my keep pile. And this is my declutter. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 products that I am decluttering. We're going to round out today with setting sprays. I don't have too many, so I don't know how many of these I'm actually going to get rid of, but let's just go through these. Starting with this Morphe Continuous Prep and Set Mist. This came in one of my BoxyCharms recently, and I love this setting spray, so this is definitely a keep. The mister is just so, so nice, so definitely keeping this. I picked this up when I was in Japan. This is the Mask Fit Makeup Fixer from Tier. I've been having some issues with my makeup not looking so hot, and I am wondering if this is the culprit, but I need to keep doing some investigation, so I'm going to keep this for now. This is not even open, but this is from Laura Geller. I got this as a giveaway prize from my friend Lori, and I am interested in trying this, so I will be keeping this. We've got some mini setting sprays here. I picked this one up from TJ Maxx because I remember Jaclyn Hill raving about this not long ago. It's a dewy setting mist, and I'm going to go ahead and hang on to this one. This one from NYX, I don't really use it, and I don't need it, so I'm going to declutter this. This one from Smashbox is from a little holiday kit that was from a long time ago, too long ago, so I'm going to let this go. This is from LYS. This is the Natural Finish Setting Spray. This is pretty nice. I hate the triangle container. It's just hard to store, but I am going to go ahead and keep this. This is one of my favorite setting sprays to use, as well as a shadow enhancer. I use this when I want my metallic shades to be really, really shiny. I will definitely be keeping this. This one from Milk Makeup is a mattifying setting spray, and I really like this. However, the nozzle does tend to get plugged up, which is the only bummer, so it's a little bit annoying, but I'm going to hang on to this one. This last setting spray is a hydrating setting spray, and this is such a good one. You guys, if my makeup is ever looking questionable or it's just not looking great halfway through the day or something like that, I can always rely on this one to just refresh my makeup and just make it look better. I don't know what's in this, it's magical, but definitely hanging on to this one. Not a huge declutter, but I will just be getting rid of these 2 setting sprays, and I will be keeping these 8 setting sprays. We are going to end it there with part 2 of my makeup declutter. Stay tuned for part 3 and probably also 4 and 5, I don't know. I'm trying not to make these videos super long, but I think in the next one I'm going to tackle eyeshadows. So make sure you are subscribed and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on my uploads. And with that, I hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll talk to you later.